Hello, my name is Douglas Bloch. I'm an author and depression counselor. Welcome to your Depression Recovery channel, where each week we talk about practical tools and coping strategies for healing from depression and anxiety. The title of today's video is called The Challenge of Insomnia. I first want to start off by defining insomnia. Three different ways you know you have insomnia. One is trouble falling asleep. The other is trouble staying asleep. And the third is early morning awakenings accompanied by ruminations. I did another video about how to stop ruminating. Oftentimes when people wake up in the early morning, they just think about their illness and go over and over again, and it can be very, very frustrating. Now, I call insomnia the canary in the coal mine because it often precedes depression, and it's a warning sign that depression is going to occur. In all of my particular episodes, including the one I'm going through now, insomnia has come as a precursor to depression. And that's how I know that I'm slipping and probably going to go into a depression. I remember specifically in 1983, I was having depression in Eugene, Oregon, and it was accompanied by insomnia, or I should say preceded by insomnia. One night I went to bed at 11 a.m., woke up at 1, couldn't get back to sleep, and tossed and turned for a couple hours, and finally got up and started walking around the block with tranquilizers in one hand and beer in the other. Something I would not recommend to listeners, and trying to combine them both to get back to sleep, to no avail. Eventually I was shipped back to New York to live with my parents because my friends couldn't help me and my symptoms were getting worse. I hung out with my parents for a while, and eventually they realized that I was beyond their powers of healing, and so I went to a hospital called Hillside Hospital, where again the insomnia followed me. There again I woke up at 1 a.m. and was pacing the floors over and over again. And after a week or two, I really started to break down seriously, started to talk about suicide, and they eventually, or actually I should say immediately, transferred me to a locked ward. At some point in my stay in that hospital, a compassionate mental health worker came up to me and said, the paradox of insomnia is the more you try to make yourself go to sleep, the less likely it's going to happen. He said instead, just relax and focus on something positive, get your mind off you're trying to get to sleep, and eventually the body will relax and you'll sleep that way. Another thing he recommended, which I couldn't do in the hospital, is to get up and maybe go downstairs, or go to the kitchen, get a bite to eat, do some work in your office, do the dishes, clean up around the house, and then eventually the natural tiredness will take over, and you'll go upstairs and hopefully get to bed. The other thing that is always helpful to me is reading a book. After a couple of passages or a couple of pages, my eyelids start to droop, and I start to feel like I want to go to bed again. I've just shared with you some of my personal experiences with insomnia. And by the way, I was told by this nice mental health worker, no one ever died of insomnia, and that's what I can assure you. You will get through to the other side. And I want to offer you two other ways that I have used that have been very helpful to basically prevent and treat insomnia. The first is called adopting sleep hygiene. I took this from a book called No More Sleepless Nights, and I'll read some ideas to you right now. Develop a sleep schedule, a regular time of going to sleep and arising, and stick to it. Reduce caffeine and alcohol in the hours before bedtime. Eliminate cigarettes as they are stimulants. Use the bed only for sleep and sex, not for other activities such as reading. You can read if you're having problems with going to sleep, but don't do it in bed. Practice meditation or relaxation techniques before bedtime. Get regular exercise during the day, and this has really helped me recently. When you get sufficiently tired, you fall asleep no matter what you're thinking. And don't sit in front of a computer or phone screen before bed, as screens are considered to be very stimulating. And the second way to treat insomnia is simply to treat the depression that's causing it. Because once the depression goes away and is resolved, so will the insomnia be resolved and will go away. And this has at least been true of my experience and many of my clients. This has been Douglas Bloch. Thank you for watching this video. If If you want to learn more about my work, go to healingfromdepression.com or click on the links in the closing credits. And until we meet again, I wish you the best in your mental health recovery. Thank you.